Francis Briers, sometimes known as the Rev. I'm here to offer a spiritual response to life's questions. So in a recent video I made about spirituality, off the back of someone's question, I mentioned religion and the meaning of religion. And I wanted to touch on this because religion so often gets applied as a kind of term for, a blanket term for all of organised religion. And in some sectors, in some arenas, places, organised religion has a bad name. And in other places, at the very least, it means a very particular thing. So apparently, I've read that the root of the word religion is a Latin word, religare. And apparently the way that translates is that ligare means to separate something, to take one thing and make it two things, to separate something into two parts. And religare means to reconnect two things that were once separated, to bring them back together and make them whole again, to make them one again. And to me that's a very beautiful meaning in terms of all sorts of things in the ideas or philosophies around religious or spiritual thought, that maybe before we are born, we're a single unified spirit, and a part of that spirit becomes separate, to come and move into manifestation, to come into being as a human being in a body. So religion is about the reconnecting with the whole, reconnecting with that sense of wholeness and being connected with the all and the everything. And there's also something about how in living in the manifest world, it is so much a world, a reality of opposites, where everything is defined by its polar opposite, light and dark, good and evil, masculine, feminine, all of these opposites. And my curiosity, my exploration, a big part of it at the moment, is about how these opposites are actually integrated. So people often think of opposites and talk about balance, that we need to balance things, and I'm not convinced by this idea of balance. I think that might be a dangerous idea, because it still invests in these opposites being opposites, like we have to balance them because they're separate. But maybe they're integrated. Maybe our task is not to balance them but to integrate them, to find the way in which they're mutually supporting, that one seeds the other, that one creates the other, that one complements the other. We don't often talk about polar opposites as being complements to each other, that one doesn't exist without the other, and that is beautiful, and in that they can be integrated, that they're a whole that we happen to perceive as two parts. So for me, this idea of religare, religion, is actually a very beautiful idea of two things, something that used to be one thing has been separated, but actually we can make the two things come back together again and be one. And I think there's an irony for me in the separating out of religion and spirituality, the way that religion in the modern world in some ways has become divisive, something that creates more separation rather than supporting that integration. I find that very sad, and I would love to see us find a way to move back towards integration as the meaning of religion, as the commonly held meaning of religion. A sense of integration rather than a sense of separation. So those are some of my thoughts on religion. Obviously it's a big topic. Those are some of my thoughts, and as ever they're offered with love.